Good morning. So, I always seem just in the moment when these start, I think, comes this almost giddiness of, oh my gosh, you know, maybe it's gratitude just to be able to be here and share. Maybe it's gratitude. I don't know. It's a giddiness that comes anyway. So thank you for allowing me to do this and to share this message. Um, uh, what comes up for me today, if you will, and again, all of this that I get to share in the morning comes from my personal experience, either my own or people I'm working with, the stuff I see around me, or my sponsees in the 12-step world, and I get to kind of come here and share it, and so it's interesting that in the 12-step process, the format, the whole thing is to clear away the wreckage of the past, recognize that we can't run our own show, that we're of the mind, we're very selfish and self-centered, and we have to surrender that, and we do an inventory and see how we've harmed others and how fear has governed our life, and we ask to have those things removed, and we clear away some of the wreckage of the past, hopefully everything that's been there that that's held us in guilt and shame, and we begin to live a day-to-day life of keeping an eye on ourselves, what our motives are, and looking for selfishness and fear and self-centeredness, and a daily life of connecting with Source, with God, through prayer and meditation, and asking for direction, and in a life of service. And in that life of service and in those maintenance steps, we grow in our experience of self, the big self, the the oneness, the thatness. We grow in that experience, and but along the path, I've noted that we get diverted. We can be diverted, and because I work a lot with men, and I'm sure this happens with women as well. We come to the 12-step world, and we're like, my gosh, I'm going to get a chance to put my life back together. I can be a good dad. I can be a good mom. And then we meet Mr. Right or Mrs. Right. We're sober a couple of years, and everything's on the table. It's like, oh my gosh, she's the one, or he's the one, and we're gone. The whole idea of a relationship with God is put on the side because the drug of romantic love is way stronger. And it seems so right, the drug of romantic love. So that happens, and just to watch for, and it's almost like the universe is testing us. I love love. I love love, and I actually want to share with you that in my years of seeking spiritual search, I got pulled aside many times by, this is the one. I thought my purpose was to find the one, and it is. I'm the one. God is the one, but I thought it was in other people, So it happens. And I've lived through it many times, and I've seen dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of people who haven't lived through it, who didn't survive it, because the symptom of our selfishness is so deadly. We go back to drinking and using, and because we're not emotionally prepared to handle relationship, and the idea of that. But should you survive, another pitfall, another thing that comes up is causes. We're like, oh my gosh, I have to fix the world. I have to. There's so many injustices out there. And we're like, uh, this is wrong, and that's wrong, and this is wrong. And so we often get caught up in againstness, you know, and there's no end of causes, you know, men's rights and women's rights, and you know, so we do that. We'll go out to save the world, and again, it's a diversion, and it takes us off the path. I mean, the path is inside; it's not outside. It doesn't mean that we can't make a difference here, because we can. But what a difference we can make having discovered our relationship with this higher power, with God as we understand Him. What a difference we can make when we're in the moment, in each moment, when we're really there. And then we're not out against something. We're in the world for something. We're generally in the world for love, for understanding, for compassion. Right? So we're not against racism, or not against, you know, unequal rights for men. We're for love and understanding. We're for being a great dad. You know, and that's a whole different context. So just a tip, I guess, to share that it causes can take us off the path. Just saying. We seem justified. We're like, oh my gosh, I've got to right this wrong in the world. I can lead the world to this new idea, and so all the scriptures all said, you know, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and the kingdom of heaven, of course, is inside. So find this, do these. If you're in the 12-step world, do these steps as well as you can, and help others to do them, and you become awakened. And then, where you put your energy will be love and healing. Where you put your energy will make a difference. It won't be out of fear, right? It'll be out of love. So that's my message today, is that we have so much to give. And many teachers have said, and I love Muji. I've been a big Muji fan for a while, but Muji said, you know, one awakened person can lift the whole planet. Also, Hawkins talked about that a lot. You know, Dr. David Hawkins wrote Power versus Force and a number of other amazing pieces of literature, and that were guidance, you know. And Hawkins talked about the vibration of an awakened being, you know, of a Jesus or a Buddha, you know, or, you know, if we move up from fear and guilt and shame into love and acceptance and compassion, we lift the whole world. Yeah. So the work is inside, not outside. To go against something, to, you know, feel like we can help people from that place of againstness. It's force, it's not power. True power is in love. So that's it, you know, and I'm going to read this reading for the day. I think it's September the 3rd, is it? And yeah, causes, baby. Like, we can get sucked into them. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Thank you. Here we go. September 3rd, thought for the day. Offer, it says, a new prospect, friendship and fellowship. So that's this, you know, book in the last few days. This is it, called the 24-hour day book. It's a little black book that was written in 1954 for the fellowship of the 12-step fellowship, and some guidance on a daily basis, you know, to keep us on the beam. Offer, it says, a new prospect. That will be like a new sponsor, and somebody coming new into, you know, wanting to recover, wanting to get In the beginning, it's so amazing how available, hi Mr. Crow, how available the newcomer is to see the way out or look for the way out. And so there we are when they wake up and say, "Gosh, I've got to, I'll do anything. I just have to get my life back." Or, often the new guy has lost or the new gal has lost their families, and they're not welcome in their homes, and that happens, or they're in jail, so we can. It says offer the prospect friendship and fellowship, and we are available. Tell him that if he wants to get well, you will do anything to help, and that's the deal. That is the deal. We can't convince people that they can get well and recover from alcoholism and addiction, but if they want to, we will do anything to help, and that's a fact. Burn the idea into the consciousness of the prospect that he can get well, regardless of anyone else, regardless of what, whether he has a job or no job, whether he has a wife or no wife. He cannot stop drinking as long as he places dependence on other people ahead of dependence on God. Let no alcoholic say he cannot recover unless he has his family back. That's not a fact. It's not a fact. The truth is his family's not coming back often unless he recovers, and even then there's no guarantee. The damage may be too bad. This just isn't so. His recovery is not dependent on other people. It is dependent upon his relationship with God. So that's the deal. And this God idea, just so you know, isn't something separate. It isn't some image. Although if that's where you're at in this moment, then it can be. But it's in the end. Thank you. I will. Okay, Jason. Thanks for tuning in, buddy. In the end, the relationship is inside. It's where we discover and feel and experience this power greater than ourselves. Meditation for the day. The spiritual life depends upon the unseen. It says to live the spiritual life, we must believe in the unseen. We must believe in the unseen. Well, we must experience the unseen, and belief, I guess, is the road into the experience. Try not to lose consciousness of God's Spirit in you. Try not to lose the consciousness of God's Spirit in you and in others. As a child, in its mother's arms, stay sheltered in the understanding and love of God. God will relieve you of the weight of worry, care, misery, and depression, and want and woe, faintness and heartache, if you let him. True enough. In this moment, when we're right here, none of that exists. None of it. All of those things. Weight of worry, care, misery and depression, want and woe, faintness and heartache. If you will let him, they'll all be lifted. So just practice being here now. Just breathe into this moment. This is where we meet God, is in the moment, not in the past or not in the future. So practicing being here, and often we use our breath to bring us here, is an amazing, it's the key. It's the key. I'm going to talk to you about something else in a second. If you let him, lift up your eyes from earth's troubles and view the glory of the unseen God. Each day, try to see more good people, more of the unseen in the seen. Try to see more good people. Each day, try to see more good people, more of the unseen in the seen. And this is what I'm talking about when we get kind of sucked into causes or fixing the world or seeing things as bad or good or right or wrong. We're not looking at the essence. We're missing. So we're still stuck in the illusion and the idea that we can change it. We can change everything we love with God. When we see the sense in everything, in our evolution, we see, all of a sudden what looked like, oh my gosh, how could that happen, to, you know, um, the injustice we see to certain groups of people. And like, we don't see the big picture. We don't know what they've asked for in that. We know, so we just don't know it all. We think we know, but we don't. So be there with love, and maybe things will be revealed to us as to what's really going on, the depth of change that can be happening. We don't know. I pray, it says, this is the prayer for the day, that I may rest and abide in the presence of the unseen God. I pray that I may leave my burdens at his care. So, in his care, in each moment. For those of you who are thinking, how do I get to the moment? How do I, what does David mean? What does Eckhart Tolle mean? The power of now. What does David mean? Be here now. Breathe and be here now. Be still and know that I'm God. That kind of thing. Well, there's a buddy of mine, Trevor Thibodeau, who does a thing called the Enlightenment Intensive. And it is an amazing process. It's a 3 or 4 day process of, we go deep into really moving aside all of the story and all of the beliefs and all of the concepts that we've adopted and that we think we are, using a koan, a Zen koan, question over and over again, and the question moves everything aside. And the possibility is a satori, and the satori is this awakening. It's another word for it, in the moment. Zen koan, tell me who you are. And Trevor's going to do this in October, I think, so love to have you be part of it. I hope to be there myself. I've done it now a couple of times, once with Trevor and once years ago, and when way before maybe I might have been ready for what was happening, but sure, okay. Love you guys. Thanks so much for allowing me to do this, and love it if you go to my YouTube channel and subscribe on YouTube. That would be, I don't know, we're building a YouTube channel. I have no idea what I'm doing with this. It's just started as something in May because people were all locked down, and I thought this would just, give people, something, and I've gotten so much from showing up every morning and delivering whatever it is that comes to be delivered, because honestly, I have no idea. It's just there, and so hopefully it makes a difference. Whatever. Hopefully we awaken. Oh, look at the plane. The plane, boss, the plane. Okay. Love you guys. Talk soon. Thanks. Oh. I just want to mention one other thing. Our meditation's going to start on Monday. I think it's the 15th. Is it Monday? I think so. So our meditation will be starting on Monday the 15th. And I'd like some of you to come here. We'll be, aware of the COVID thing, and if half a dozen come. So Monday, 7:30, we're going to be on Zoom. We'll be on Facebook Live. We'll be on YouTube Live. All kind of got the technology. I've been fiddling around with it, and I'd love for, like Kathy, if you come to help host, that would be awesome. But I think that even if we have a half a dozen people and we do the rest online, that's my plan for the next little while. That's what I feel drawn to do. Okay, love you guys. So Monday, starting the 14th or 15th, whatever, of September. Okay, bye.